So it's going to be another warm day. God, there is loads of people coming this way in cars. There's absolutely no one going the other way. Now, I should start at 12, because on like a 12 till 4:15, but they had a problem. They had a 6:30 starter, team leader, then they had a 7 o'clock starter, and then they had a 9 o'clocker. The 9 o'clocker, by the way, has had like shoulder surgery, so I can't really do too much. Still will work, but still can, but a bit limited. And then at 10 o'clock is a tiller who can only do till because of human conditions. So and then it came to 12 o'clock, and then it would be just me. Oh, you got to 12 o'clock and it would be me. So the team leaders were like, oh well, instead of starting at 12, could you start at 10:30 instead, but finish at 2:45 instead? I'm like, I can do that, yeah. The bizarre thing is they don't have any time for overtime, because all the market lots people nicked all the overtime for being like in there. So like anywhere else, any other departments don't have it. You know, the one thing I noticed yesterday, is when I was so not used to the heat, I felt so out of breath. I was like, wow, Jesus. I actually don't feel out of breath now. I feel sort of like acclimatized to it. There's a lot of people driving. See, the thing is between England and Scotland, when it's nice in Scotland, I mean when the weather's good in Scotland, people utilise that time and do something with the time off. Like, not time off, but utilise that time where the weather's better. And then, yeah. But then here, people were like, oh, it's too warm, it's too hot, I can't do anything, I've just got to sit outside and drink like 16 pints of beer and whatever, and like, yeah. But then, yeah, in Scotland, when I was on the Saturday and on the Sunday, when I went to Cumbria, loads of people walking, cycling, whatever. Well, that's a bit overhanging. And people weren't sat inside. Well, I was sat inside briefly because I'd hurt my foot, and then like I think that's pretty much what did it for me. Like on the Friday, I injured my foot, and because I was still like, oh, I've got all these plans I want to do. I still did the plans I wanted to do, but not really considering a foot injury, I should say. So I just ended up just carrying on doing stuff, and yeah, then it got to the point where I was like, wow, I can't actually walk anymore because I was just so burnt out. It's so much more easier to get the Nike Reacts trainers as opposed to the Solomon ones, because the Solomon ones are a bit harder to get unless you know the resources of where to get one. You can get one then, but the Nike Reacts, it's like, oh, they're available in like 10 colours. Actually, I think it's more than 10 colours, and it's like if it's not available and you just press size 10 and it's like, oh, it's available in 4 colours, and you pick one and you just get that. You've got to notice though, there's a lot of people driving, but there is next to nobody walking. So with having my foot injury, I ended up peeling away my skin, which you shouldn't really do, but I did. And the pressure point that was the most sore, I've been massaging it, and I've been like just putting like getting my foot grinder on it and then like putting gerbil on it, covering it, washing it, etc. And I'm just doing that rinse and repeat. There are a lot of people driving. There are a lot of people that cannot knack the weather. I mean, it is warm. You have to admit, it is pretty warm. And I think it's even in Scotland, like where I was, it's still like 30 odd degrees. But there is a crazy amount of people driving. I think I'm going to turn left here. So I can turn left on, I can just go straight on. Because it is a weird one, like when I was in Scotland and the weather were like this, there were so many people out, like going out walking or going biking or etc. But then in England, it's like people don't know how to exercise. In fact, scrape that, they don't know how to exercise. So I need to be careful not to do too much of my time at work. So this is what happens, people drive more because they can't knack the weather. Like it's too hot, I can't do anything about it. I think it's because it's the World Cup, we can now start to wear World Cup shirts at work. So typically, loads of people had England shirts, obviously, because we're in England. And people said, do you not have an England shirt? And I said, no. I said, why? It's because I don't have one. I collect shirts, but I don't want an England shirt. Like, I have a Scotland shirt, but I have a Scotland shirt and I have an Ireland shirt, but I don't have an England one. Wow, so it is now 9:46. So here's the thing, right? I'll get in at like 10 or 10ish. There's gonna be a potential where they're like, oh, can you just start at 10? And I'm like, well, I'll finish at 2:15 then. I'll just do that. I'll do 10 till 2:15. Instead of just being sat doing note upstairs, I'll just be like, right, I'll start at 10, but I'll finish at 2:15. The main important thing now is to rest and recover, which the weather kind of helps with that in a way. But the thing is, I've just done so much Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to then be working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's like you're not fully resting up like you should. You're kind of like just doing stuff. You're at work or whatever. And the last time I was at work in a Scotland t-shirt, I think practically everybody didn't quite understand why I was in a Scotland shirt. I'm like, because they're a football team, country. And with going to Fort William next week, Fort William doesn't actually come into being in a county. You know, like when I was in Ayr, it was Ayrshire. When you're in Scotland, when you're in the Fort William bit, you're in what's called just the Highlands, the Scottish Highlands and Islands. And it's funny because in the whole of the Scottish Highlands and Islands, there is a population, I think my dad said 224,000 people, and it was pretty much one Huddersfield, all of Huddersfield, and 2 Todmordens. So that's 1 Huddersfield and 2 Todmordens population. That's all of the Scottish Highlands and Islands. Right, I'm probably not going to be able to cross because... Oh yeah, I'm going to be able to cross. I feel like when the weather's like it is, you sort of get a little bit more acclimatised. I mean, yesterday I couldn't speak for shit because it was just so warm. and you're just like, oh, you're not used to it. As soon as you get used to it, you're just like, I'm just talking naturally, I'm just doing this, like whatever. And I'm gonna go to Scotland next week. I'm gonna take all my underwear, take all my socks, and like whatever I'm like, oh yeah, this is shit, throw it. This is shit, throw it. Because I must have about 20 pairs of underwear at home, and I don't need 20 pairs of underwear. I just don't. And I've got loads of cans of deodorant that are like nearly finished. So if I take the cans that are nearly finished up to Scotland as well, and simple as. I've got a lot of like hoarding stuff, so if I take all of it to Scotland and use it up, I come back with less. I kind of want to not see anyone walking dogs because of the weather, but trust me, I'm now approaching Elland, so trust me when I say this, people's chromosome levels change. Because I think there's a thing where it's like, if you have too many or you don't have enough, that impacts like your human condition. Human condition sounds like a song or like an album anyway, doesn't it? Human condition. Because yesterday when I was in, I was just like staggered how many people were indoors. I was like, it's so nice outside and you're just in here. I think Scotland play tonight. They play Brazil at 10 o'clock tonight. So I was like saying yesterday, like, oh, I've got a Scotland shirt and I've got a Holland shirt, so I'll do Scotland today and I'll do Holland tomorrow. Because I have an Ireland and I have an Italy shirt, but they're not in the World Cup. Ireland I can understand not being in the World Cup because they're just shit. But Italy not being in it is weird. Because Italy have some of like the best players in the world and they're not in the World Cup. It's so odd. Like that they're not in it. It's like really odd that Italy are not in it. It's weird. Because it's like, oh, France are in it, Germany are in it, Spain are in it, and all these really good countries in Italy are not in it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is wrap the video up now that I'm in the centre of Elland. I'm going to walk down to trolley bay bit and check on trolleys. I don't think I'm actually going to be on trolleys though, but I'm just going to have a look. So, thanks for watching for now, and goodbye.